Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 422 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Maldo, and I am here today with three fine gentlemen who are in their virus-free orbiting space chambers. I have Jeff Bates.
I am currently encased in a lucite sleeve to protect myself and my resale value.
Rob Roseboom.
I regret to inform you that I've broken quarantine. I broke it right away.
Like immediately. Nate
Well,
Osterberg?
I gave it a minute.
I'm in a mech, which is in a Tyvek suit.
So did you, Jeff, did you mail yourself in to be actually graded by some sort of authority in your lucite sleeve?
Overstreet is actually going to be sending a team out to examine me, check my teeth, the whole...
He's worth enough that the inspector comes to him.
Yeah.
If they don't rate you at least fair, dude, appeal the decision.
Yeah.
Thank you. That really means a lot to me coming from you. Thank you.
I really don't know anything about like comic book grading and all of that, but they actually talked about it a fair bit on one particular episode of Comic Book Men. And so like all I know about grading comic books, and like I didn't understand that the whole notion of slabbing a comic book and sending it to like the services for having, like, that's a weird thing.
Yeah, it turns out when you take any collecting of something to its logical end conclusion, it gets weird.
It's not that complex. I mean, most of it is what you would think. It's just the higher end stuff also takes in vibrancy of color and alignment of print.
Oh yeah, I forgot about print alignment. Yeah, basically get one that's printed well and don't ever expose it to light, and you're probably going to be mostly okay.
In fact, it's better if you just don't look at it at all before you go and sell it.
Yeah. All my Star Wars figures are still in their original shipping container.
And by that, Nate actually means the shipping container.
Yeah, like, he has a pallet in his basement.
Nate's backyard is just consumed mostly by this large shipping container that he's moved for the last 30 plus years.
1984, I made a big investment in whatever collectibles Taiwan was producing. Sure, there's some stuff in there that's not worth anything, but
cashed in 3 years worth of blueberry picking money and bought the entire Star Wars universe.
I was hoping more for a scenario where Nate hijacked a Kenner freighter ship and then, just took the shipping container right off of there.
Maersk did not come up with my my pirate money, so I took it all as booty.
Little known fact: the start of the Somali pirate rings actually was Nate back in the 80s stealing children's toys. All of their other work has really been derivative off of the processes he really pioneered in the 80s.
This all checks out. This also explains why he has such an extraordinarily large collection of dolls that perform one weird thing, like tip and drink or like cry and poop. That he's like all like I thought it was just like a creepy weird doll fetish. But
throw my hair when you pull my arm up.
Right, baby cuts her hair.
Oh, I've just been assumed that it was both a creepy doll fetish as well. Like this is two things where Nate's narrative really kind of came together.
You're kind of still assuming that the toys get played with, and this is like banked art. There is a containment facility. It is temperature controlled. There is no ultraviolet light allowed. Like these things aren't for using.
Right.
They're for having and maximizing their value.
Nate doesn't have play time. He has together time with his dolls.
Nate, may I see the storage facility?
This is art to be enjoyed. This is art to own.
Yep.
There's a big difference.
Got to keep him speculating. Oh, dear God. I'm opening up my notes for the episode, and I'm just going to write that the only thing that's happening in the news is that Nate collects doll heads.
Well, the whole thing, really.
Yeah, don't put baby in a box.
Yeah, don't make him sound weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the man has full dolls. It's not just heads.
And they're in their original packaging, and they're hermetically sealed.
Totally not severed.
And they've each been named.
But after like members of the Chicago Bears World Super Bowl team
or something. Well, we'll have to rely on that since this keeps going. The NFL will be canceled too.
This is the end of sports.
Yeah. Say it ain't so.
I kind of like the idea that they would cancel March Madness only because I find that whole thing to be very exploitative of students. But like the NBA and everything, I mean, wow.
Yeah, once you've suspended the rest of the season, I mean, once you've upset the degenerate gamblers, things have gone real,
What are they bet on now?
What?
Are they just going to bet on horses now? Please.
No, you bet on number of cases.
I was going to say. There's all sorts of stuff we can bet on, like number of cluster outbreaks per state, how many tests are available per state.
Certainly
what's
things
the over/under on Iowa school closings.
Certainly things that we could bet on, but
I've got Des Moines for next week Thursday.
I'm talking about the hardcore sports gambler.
Yeah, that's going to be tougher. He's going to have to do only non-contact sports. Horse racing, probably.
Tennis.
Probably was. Yep, tennis.
Social distance.
Yep. Exceeds a 5 foot radius.
Car racing.
Yep. NASCAR can still go on.
No, well, I mean empty stadiums.
Sure.
Because it seems like in terms of crowd density, it strikes me that NASCAR racing has some of the most.
I would say college football is right up there.
Don't they get like 250,000 people to show up for some of those NASCAR events?
That's not like they're not all
right.
That seems very high because
it does. But I seem to recall hearing Looney Tunes large numbers about those.
Part of that reason is just because the stadiums are so much bigger. I mean, a racetrack is gigantic compared to a football field. So
but they're all walking through the same metal detector. And if New York and San Jose has taught us anything, it's that the TSA and those metal detectors are fine.
Well, sure. I mean, technology would never go wrong, right?
Why is there a computer and who put it here? Yeah.
So they found a bunker in
Churchill's secret army.
It was nice. It was a nice story.
That was a nice story.
Well, it's a nice story about, bunkers that were built for suicidal Scottish guerrillas once the Nazis arrived. So, I mean, sure, that bunker was built for, like 6 dudes who were willing to give their lives up to slaughter Nazis once they landed. But
super preppers.
Yeah.
But they're probably dead now.
Like I said, can you imagine being a kid and finding that with your friends?
That would have been
an awesome clubhouse.
I'm also impressed at how economically built it is because it looks like it's just a piece of corrugated pipe and some brickwork.
Yeah, it's basically just like shaped like an old wood stove or something, just out of cement and buried.
I mean, it's actually not that different than like even you see the videos of like the ones that Churchill and stuff hung out in under London. I mean, they were really basically the same thing.
I imagine he had more booze in his probably and cigars.
Yeah. Churchill as a prepper, it would basically be like, yep, here's his whiskey and soda room, and here's his cigar room. See you in 10 years.
Yep. This is my witty retort chair.
Yep.
my standing desk. I mean,
yep.
He actually has a witty retort chair in every room.
I guarantee you he would call it something much worse than the Chinese coronavirus.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the vogue term in that era? Oriental?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Not going down this path with you, dude.
Right.
Not going there.
All right. No, I'm just. This is historical. This is what he would say, right? All right. Let's see.
You sound.
Oh, now the streaming has switched with multiple people. So we've got and all of our faces turned very tiny just in time to talk about racism.
DeBona just showed up just in time for the old-timey racism.
Yeah.
And he's muted.
You are working from your desk. You're a bad man.
I
asked him about
get my monitor and my power adapter and stuff, and then I will be going home.
Okay, I'll allow it. So
you'll allow it. You know what? They can turn off the badge if they really don't want me to.
Yeah.
That's probably what'll happen next.
7 meters wide. That's not enough. I need 8 meters. That's my minimum.
You are such a size queen.
Yeah. That's right.
What you gonna do with the extra 3.1 feet?
That's my play area. We'll have so much more room for activities.
Are you talking about your social distancing?
No, his bunker.
Oh. I've always wanted a bunker.
Who did it?
You should watch the live stream, Chris.
What's that?
You should watch the live stream so you'd be like up to date.
No, I was watching it with the automatic voice recognition stuff because I didn't want to like play it in the physical.
Because you wanted to read while driving.
You and Cliff should get together for a full driving multimedia experience.
Well, so I figure I can mute and unmute really readily in this car, and I do this podcast to talk to my friends. So like the 2 people, 3 people who watch, they can enjoy the scenery of downtown Palo Alto.
I will say it always gives me joy when Discord sends me to notice that Jake has joined the general channel. Like, Jake, buddy.
Dude, we had like 3 people join general this week.
I know.
So I guess Jake P. It is a Jake P36, H Gill, and Caffeine Coma. I'd like to throw props out to the Discord channel, the peeps in Discord.
It sounds like we're going viral, gentlemen.
Really? No. So the right way to show our appreciation is to turn on the voice channel in general.
Oh, that's risky.
I mean, why is it risky? It's awesome, right? I mean, I don't know that their voices would make it into the podcast, the video cast here, but they would get us, and that's cool, right?
We'll turn that on next time. We'll do a test. I actually don't know what would happen to the streaming machine right now because I don't know if I'm streaming out of Chrome or if I'm streaming off the desktop.
Yeah, I don't know what you've done with my precious hardware that I've given you.
I've heard it. It cries out in pain now. Computers don't last long in my presence, except for my immortal MacBook.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's true at all.
So let's see. Rob, you shared a very cool picture with cartoon character fossils. It had a cool SpongeBob.
Yep.
I like the Popeye.
The Popeye mandible was nice.
Yeah. I'm loading that up. Let's see what other good ones are there. Oh yeah, we got a Scrooge McDuck.
And so I have one of the unapproved Android. The Android, figures, the vinyl figures. So a friend of mine was the guy who approved them all, and he briefly worked for me, and he gave me some of the unapproved ones, which it was the skeleton with the organs and the rest. It's kind of gross, but it's amazing. So.
Let's see here. There's a browser extension that will replace all faces and all photos with Nicolas Cage.
At last.
Is it called the Face Off extension? Because
I was actually wondering about Face Waterfalls.
Oh, nice. You would have marketed it much better than it was, I think.
I need someone to endorse me on LinkedIn for Nicolas Cage related marketing.
All right,
Is that a subcategory now? I mean, it might be.
No, they used to let you make up whatever categories you want to, but
they don't let you make them up anymore?
No, they stopped it
People are no
because
fun.
people like me would recommend people for phrenology or lawn maintenance.
So are you saying I'm technically not a master of momentum anymore?
I think so. As far as I can tell, any of the user-created tags still exist. They just don't let you make up free-form skills anymore, which I have thought about. There's no way you would make money doing this, but making a LinkedIn that is for everybody, but it is just a collection of the most random things that you're like you could say, I actually finished reading Infinite Jest, or I reached Exalted Rep with the Steam Wheel Cartel, or I think that would be an enjoyable social service.
So this is just
I wonder if you could create a skill that's creating skills on LinkedIn, like go full meta,
I think that's just called marketing.
Jeff has some of the best LinkedIn skill endorsing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that one's just called, you just tag it Inception, and then that covers all the, wheels within wheels stuff.
Yeah, this is too fun. You have to turn into expert outreach coordinator for the enterprise, and then that's your skill.
That is some awesome word salad. That totally sounds like something.
It's pretty amateur. I mean, Bates could do that easy.
I like when you add more words and somehow make it mean less. So I just shared into general the face waterfall montage from Face Off, which, in terms of social distancing, I think this is a model that we should all follow.
Wait. Just for the record, the surgical procedure in Face Off probably is the opposite of social distancing. So
that's true.
If you want to guarantee you're going to get COVID-19, I'd say swap faces with a COVID sufferer.
Under no circumstances should you swap faces with the coronavirus victim.
Yeah, and it's weird because you might think it's better because then you're not touching your face, but it doesn't work out that way.
Someone else's face.
Yeah.
I mean,
this discussion is making me touch my own face.
Actually, no, it would be fine. You're touching somebody else's face. So you'll be fine, right?
Have you guys talked about the Don't Touch Your Face website yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We haven't talked here, but yeah, it's a good one. Oh, God. All right. Well, that, I think, was the extent of the fun things that don't involve coronavirus in the news. Yet somehow we managed to turn them all into discussions about coronavirus.
Well, yeah.
Human malware.
Mm-hmm.
Human malware, I guess.
Well, they stopped the sports ball. The stock market stopped after an hour of trading this morning because the alarm went off.
I read, how's your 201k?
Yeah,
that was my favorite joke so far.
My bank sending me emails about how not to touch the ATM or lick it.
I gotta say, Chase and Citibank sending me emails about protecting myself during COVID. I'm like, you know who I need to hear from? Not Chase Bank about pandemics.
Wait, let me call Lowe's and see what they have to say about the issue.
I would rather hear from
down all the 2x4s before beginning your construction project.
No, there's people at Lowe's who'll be like, I know how to build a spray booth and all of that. At least someone at Lowe's would have some idea about it, but yeah.
Somebody at Lowe's probably has a vague understanding of diameter of particles and the efficacy of face masks.
That's probably true.
So you do know you're basically talking about Dan Berlin. So Dan Berlin's he's got this spray booth for finishing wood things, and he's got N100 filters. He's got the full bunny suits. I've never seen anyone more careful, and he's like, I can make a fortune from selling this crap right now. So
yeah.
Well, I saw that hand sanitizer was going for something like $82 a bottle in some Amazon store.
Yeah.
So
because they announced it here, the toilet paper run was on, and I was like, I bet I can still get toilet paper on Amazon. Oh no!
No.
So dumb.
No.
I mean,
yeah, the toilet
people
paper
think
I don't get.
it-
That's a really weird one.
So the only thing that I've heard is once you're over the virus, apparently the way that the body dumps it out is through your butt, and so so you'll have like one day where you probably need a little extra toilet paper, but other than that, are you going to eat it? I mean, what the hell is the point?
Chris, I just kind of want to know. Go ahead, Rob.
Maybe they're using it for self-mummification.
I was just more wondering what other ways that Chris thought that bodies might dump things out. I guess there's vomiting. There is that.
Well, ear secretions are my favorite ones.
Verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know Trump will have it, because it'd be like, blah, 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 United States.
Oh, Corona.
Yeah, just a sort of an aura of dread around you, until you feel better.
It literally burns off little tendrils of pink smoke,
Yeah.
Actually, it's a 40-foot radius, and you get a -1 to all your saving throws.
Ooh.
On a science fiction note, you all have an assignment to go watch Devs. If there's 2 episodes out. It's really good.
I've been trying since you suggested it the very first time, but for some weird reason, my wife and I have not found the enthusiasm to watch anything more intellectually aggressive than reruns of Community.
Wow.
You guys are in a dark place there.
We're in a real dark place over here, man.
The prospect of having the kids home, probably.
Right.
Did they cancel schools, public schools there in the Ann Arbor and Dexter areas?
You can take odds on when they will.
Yep, on the new betting market that we're putting together.
Now that all the sports ball is closed.
There's rumblings going on. Parents asking in Facebook groups and such.
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow, today, if Franny goes back to college from spring break, so I'll let you know.
She's totally not.
Yeah, they're shutting it down. It's just a matter of are they doing it tomorrow or next week.
Yeah, the real question is, will we have to go to her college, get her car, and take it to where she is, or is she going to come back and then she's going to drive out? Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm kind of excited because one of the people who work at my wife's facility was on vacation for 2 weeks, came back, and he is sick as a dog, and he's going in now to be tested for corona this morning. So
Yay.
It turns out he just has Bud Lyme disease.
Might be like 5 miles from my house.
No, I guess the one over at the university is 2 miles away from me or something right now.
I was on North Campus most of the day yesterday, so I was less than a mile for sure.
I tried to break in to ask him how it was.
You know that the coronavirus isn't a mile wide, right?
Well,
it's not like a nuclear.
Well, people travel sometimes miles during the day, right? And touch various things, cough areas.
This is like,
I mean, not everyone just sits in their car driving around the town all day long.
Calling in, hanging out on podcasts.
Not all of us.
So Stanford has like 2 or 3. Santa Clara, Stanford's like a mile from where I'm sitting right now. Santa Clara is like 15 miles, and they have a zillion. And I've got a little sniffle, but I mean, other than that,
I got a little sniffle. This is like a Michael Bay movie is just starting. A mechanical spider is going to appear behind Chris's shoulder, and it will be a virus a mile wide.
All right, so here's our betting list right now. When are the Ann Arbor schools canceled, and when does Chris announce that he has COVID?
Coronavirus. If I have coronavirus, I had it in December. So, you know, I think
Oh, well, that's way more reassuring.
Yep. So you were patient zero. It was you and Waz.
You know, we're
I
joking.
mean, I wasn't anywhere near Asia, though. I haven't been in Asia for like, well, unless you count Taiwan, but, you know, I don't. And it's been like a year since I've been to Taiwan.
You know what? Everyone counts Taiwan as Asia. That's definitely part of Asia.
If this came from the Wuhan region of mainland China, it's not the same thing.
Yes, I thought you had said I haven't been to Asia. Oh, I guess I've been to Taiwan.
Okay, I gotta go. Franny's calling. I think I know what this is.
Uh-oh.
I'll report back.
My car, yeah.
All right.
You'll report back into general, so our new fans of our Discord channel can join in the fun.
So I know we're joking around about it here, but I think we have a great opportunity now to start a new trend, and that is testing reveal parties. We take the heat that gender reveal parties have already generated for us, and we just transfer it over to that viral scan. You know, if the balloon pops and green gas comes out, you might be doomed. You know, if nothing, then go about your day.
Step away from the buffet.
Yeah. I mean, if you like all of those games, like the party games that you play at an event like that, like at a shower or something, those are all totally clean too.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We got a shot here with this. This is a good idea.
This is a good idea.
I was no shit planning a Chuck E. Cheese's birthday party this weekend, and
Dude,
I didn't quite get to everything I wanted. I didn't get, you know, to like sending out the Evite and the head count. I had built the email list and stuff. And then I realized on Monday, oh yeah, no, this just isn't gonna be a good time for that.
You are literally the third person I have talked to this morning who canceled a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party.
We all share a mutual friend who I saw pictures on Facebook today or 2 days ago. I hadn't used Facebook in like a month, and I logged on to check on a thing for Kat. And we have a friend who's literally at Disneyland right now.
Yes, I saw that.
Here's pictures of him, his wife, and his kid at Disney. Yay! That's fine.
But I bet the lines are short.
Time
if you're not scared.
No, I've seen people posting pictures like the waits at Disneyland and Disney World are all still at like 30 to 60 minutes. Like no one has stopped going.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to call out to our audience to post in the comments that which of us is going to be the first one to come down with the virus. If it's the Angela Merkel Germany prediction, then somebody on this call's got to get it, right?
I demand odds against the Robs because both of them voluntarily self-quarantine as part of their normal lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have kids who go to public schools, so I would say Big Rob is the safest. But you did say that you know someone.
Yeah, you have
literally who's
in the healthcare industry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do though. I do, to be fair, set out a warning shot whenever I see anyone get too close to the edge of my property. So I figure I'm pretty safe.
That keeps them out of radius. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, I think it's time for us to put on the goodbye slide and say our farewells. I'll say farewell to Mr. Chris DeBona, who so graciously joined us from a parked car this time. I was pretty excited about that. And let's see. Come on, Mouse. You can wake back up. I have to fix that. I complained about that yesterday, too, didn't I? I'd like to thank Mr. Jeff Bates.
You're welcome.
Mr. Nate Ostendorp.
Elbow bump, you guys.
No, that's too close. Social distance.
Yeah, I thought it was ankle kicking. That's how we greet each other. We sweep the ankles from now on.
It's headbutts.
Mr. Rob Roseboom.
Wash your face.
All right, everybody. No more face waterfalls until we meet next time. This has been episode 422 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda. Stay safe, folks.